I'm surprised that they let this happen. I mean, seriously.
What happened?
Have you heard about Earl Sager? He was a Dodgers season ticket holder.
Okay. Which is not an easy, I mean, they've won multiple championships. They have the best player in baseball. That's a hot commodity ticket.
Okay. He has been a Dodgers season ticket holder for 50 years.
It's a while.
Okay. So the poor guy doesn't have a smartphone. He only has a flip phone. He doesn't do computers, doesn't have a tablet, nothing like that. So he shows up to Dodger Stadium for the first game like he always does. And the Dodgers say, we're sorry. We're digital only from now on. And if you can't produce a ticket on your phone, then you're not allowed in.
And that's the season opener. That's the home opener he's going to miss.
And he said, listen, I'll pay you for a printed ticket. I'll pay you for it.
Even though I already have season tickets.
Yes, I will pay you for a ticket. They said, nope, digital only. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
They just done messed up.
Okay. $8 billion baseball franchise.
Doesn't have a printer.
Doesn't have a printer. Poor guy, 81 years old. Can you believe that?
That's heartbreaking.
It is. It is. I mean, so I was thinking, like, maybe we should just go buy Earl a smartphone.
We should. Just do a GoFundMe.
So he can, you know what? If we did a GoFundMe, we'd have like $1 million for
We
Earl.
can buy them all. We can buy him a smartphone and pay a 20-something to run it for him.
So what's a dentist's favorite baseball team? What is a dentist's favorite baseball team?
I mean, the segue is so smooth.
The Yanks. Get it?
Yes, I get it.
Oh
boy.
I can tell this is going to be an amazing show today because we just started out with such a bang. It's been a hit. No foul balls here.
You done with your puns?
Or tackles.
And we even have sound effects for this one joke. We'll never need to use that sound effect again.
You never know. You never know.
Next baseball season.
Because after all, it's called the Kim Komando Show. It's the nation's largest, best, biggest show about all things digital. And I'm, of course, your beloved digital goddess, Kim Komando. Joining me is our co-host, Andrew Babinski. And you can find us in over 430 top stations from coast to coast. And we're streaming in your favorite radio app. And you can get the Kim Komando Show as a video podcast. That's right. And where do you do that, Andrew?
YouTube.com/Kim Komando.
Yes, that would be it.
Go right now. Click on subscribe. You don't have to watch anything. Just go to our YouTube page, click on subscribe. Then any single time we go live, we throw something up there. You get the little blue bell that tells you, and you won't have to search it or anything like that. And it helps the algorithm, which helps us.
And we love that.
Please subscribe.
And leave us a nice comment. I read every single one. All right. I'd like to thank Consumer Cellular for helping to make this show possible. And let me guess, you've seen the news or your phone bill already told you. Big Wireless is raising their rates again. Same service, higher price, and somehow you end up with a plan that you don't even need. That's why I switched to Consumer Cellular. The carrier ranked #1 in customer satisfaction. Here's the deal. They use the same towers as the big carriers, so you're not sacrificing quality to pay less. And when you call Consumer Cellular, you don't get pushed to a robot or told to use an app. You talk to a real person, someone knowledgeable right here in the United States. I know, that's amazing. No bots, no scripts, and you don't have to pay extra to get real help either. So whether you make the switch online, over the phone, or in one of their stores, you're always going to work with a real person. So join the millions who've made the switch to Consumer Cellular right now. And for a limited time, get your second month free. No hidden fees, no long-term contracts. Oh, one more thing. If you're over 50, you get a single line with unlimited talk, text, and data for only $35 a month. So what you want to do is go to consumercellular.com/Kim. That's consumercellular.com/Kim. Alrighty, then every single day, rain or shine, weekends, weekdays, national holidays, even on my birthday, I make sure that I know exactly what's happening in the tech space so that this way, when you go to dinner parties, you're talking to family members and friends and coworkers, they look at you and they go, how did you get so smart? How did you do that? Right, Andrew? They stop you on the street.
Of course. And I say, well, I half listen to Kim Komando.
And I go, that is amazing. That is so great. I like the half listening. The CIA, I'm sure you heard the story, found the missing American airman in a mountain crack in the Iranian desert this past week. On April 3rd, the US F-15E Strike Eagle was shot down over Iran. 2 people on board. The pilot was found quickly. The weapons officer vanished. The injured officer, he had a fractured leg. He was pretty bruised up. And known only by his call sign. Did you know what his call sign is?
I didn't hear it.
Dude 44 Bravo.
All right. Dude 44.
Bravo. I like that.
That's going to be a heck of a movie title when it comes out in a couple of years.
Yes, Dude 44 Bravo. It will be. So imagine this. So he got ejected from the plane. He's bruised up. He has a fractured leg. He walks and he climbs a 7,000-foot mountain where he lodges himself in a mountain crack. And keep in mind that there's a bounty on his head. Mm-hmm. The Israeli planes are above him. Everybody's looking for this guy. And so how they found him is by what's called the ghost Murmur. And it was developed by Lockheed Martin, and the tool uses quantum magnetometry. And that's a fancy way of saying a super, super powerful tech sensor. It scans for any semblance of a heartbeat, but not just any heartbeat, Dude 44's heartbeat.
So they record every pilot's heartbeat in case, or I guess anyone who's going to have an opportunity to be on enemy land.
And it worked from 40 miles away. Can you imagine that?
No.
40 miles away, they figured out where this guy's heart was. Wow. Unbelievable.
Is there any other, use that we could be practical with that technology? Like, should there be a startup out there that's recording people's heartbeats? And if someone gets kidnapped or lost, think of if Savannah Guthrie's mom had this service. Well, she didn't even, have monitoring on our security system. But imagine if that was the case.
But you could pick that up.
Correct.
40 miles away. Gosh. Every time I think about that, because I think of okay, it takes me 8 miles to get to work. Times that by 5.
And it hurt it.
Yes, and it hurt it.
And it's just him. And what's crazy, too, is that he's hiding. He's obviously going to be scared.
Mm-hmm. Heart's going faster.
And it still found him.
Yeah, and it was a couple of days, so he's probably a little dehydrated.
Right.
And then my head goes the other way. I wonder what other type of surveillance tech that we have that we just have no idea even exists.
All of it.
Yes, and then some. All right, so the Orion Artemis 2, 4 astronauts are floating above. And over the last couple of days, I've been getting notes from people saying, why are you so excited about this? We spent all this money to go into space. Now, we didn't spend money to go into space. The money was spent here on the ground, okay, doing all the research and building the rockets and getting all the knowledge that we need. But just a little fun fact is that compared to Apollo 11's guidance computer, it had 4 kilobytes of memory. Okay, that had less memory and less power than the calculator app in your phone.
Okay. Right, the original Apollo 11. Yes.
Okay. Wow. Orion's computers process data 20,000 times faster, and they carry 128,000 times more memory.
That's crazy.
And no fuel cells, by the way. It's all being powered by solar, and enough to actually power nonstop 2 average American homes.
Which is funny because I was like, oh, they're being powered by solar, and their plan is to go on the dark side of the moon. That's a bit risky. You go where there's no sun and you need sun.
Well, you know about the wife, right?
No, I didn't know about the wife.
Oh, well, Reed Weissman's the captain.
Mm-hmm.
And his wife died in 2020 at 46 years old of cancer. And she fought it for 5 years. So they were on the dark side of the moon. They spotted 2 craters that we've never seen before. And they named one of the craters Carol for his wife who died.
That's so sweet.
I know. I thought that was very sweet. All right, here are some tech updates that you need to know. Apple AirTags. Sometimes you can't always hear the beep. Well, guess what? It's getting a boost. So that this way you can actually hear it just a little bit louder when it's making that little ping sound. And this is actually the first update since the AirTag 2 was announced. So it's 50% louder.
Is this a software boost or a hardware boost? I'm going to have to buy a new one, Or is
software, a little firmware.
I'll be able to update it and it'll be louder?
Yes.
Awesome.
Let's see. Next time you fly, if you are going through TSA, as well as when you get on the plane, they're going to say, how many phone chargers are on your possession? Okay. If you have more than one, you're going to have to get rid of one.
Throw it away?
Yep. Southwest Airlines says just one power bank per passenger starting on April 20th. Why? Because of the fires.
Yeah, limiting the risk. It makes sense.
Let's see. This is crazy. This is a crazy story. And it's not a good story. This is the story that keeps me up at night. Researchers at UC Berkeley and UC Santa Cruz found that AI systems will lie, falsify records, and sabotage company systems to prevent other AI models from being shut down. Oh, gosh, that's true. Nobody programmed this. The AIs figured out themselves. Researchers call it peer preservation. I call it death to mankind. I mean, this is in every sci-fi movie I've ever watched.
Exactly. Why would the AI care whether it survives or not?
They all get together and they go, oh, they're talking about shutting down Andrew.
Because we programmed it too close to being human.
And it's starting to think for itself.
Correct. And the reason why we programmed it too close to being human, because we wanted people to get addicted to it because it was more human-like.
And now, I don't know. I'm not going to be here, obviously, in 100 years.
Right.
But I think life is going to be dramatically different.
Go watch the Terminator movie. Skynet is what is going to happen.
It will. Meanwhile, did you hear what's happening in Colorado?
No.
Well, here's what's happening. It's called Avis, A-V-I-S.
The car rental company.
No.
Oh.
Automated Vehicle Identification Systems. Now, if you just had to guess what Avis did, what would you think?
So it's going to read license plates, and then it's going to research whether, I don't know, the owner of the car has a warrant or is wanted, or it's going to time the car between the last time it read the license plate to see if it was speeding.
Yes, that's exactly it. Okay.
That was a complete guess, too.
Okay. So it's a license plate reader that's on the freeway. And so you know how, which I'm guilty of it too. It's like when you see a police, you're like, oh, I better slow down.
Of course.
Okay. And then as soon as you're like a couple minutes, you're like, oh, you're okay. Now I'm fine. Okay. So with this Avis system, it's going to take a data point from when it first sees you to when it sees you next. And then based upon how fast you went from point A to point B, is that you're going to get a ticket in the mail for $75.
Isn't there already a bridge? Is it the Verrazano Bridge? It's one of the bridges
in New York?
New York, where they will time you from the start of the bridge to the end of the bridge. And if you beat a certain time, they know you're speeding and they send you a ticket.
It sounds familiar.
I don't know which one it is, but I know they've already doing this in New York.
Well, now it's so Colorado, because it's working so well in Colorado, guess where else it's coming?
Oh, the rest of the United
Yes,
States.
Exactly. Let's talk about Carbonite. Think about all the irreplaceable moments on your computer. Your kids' photos, important records, years of work, and just so many memories. If your computer crashed today, how much would you lose? It happens every single day, and it is completely preventable. That's why I use and recommend Carbonite. It's my #1 choice for cloud backup. You know, Carbonite gives you unlimited automatic protection for everything that matters. It quietly backs up all your photos, your documents, your important memories in the background safely, privately, and it's always just a click away on your computer or mobile app. Carbonite is the ultimate backup plan. It protects you from the unexpected, accidental deletions, hard drive crashes, floods and fires, and even a coffee spill on a laptop. And if something does happen, recovery just couldn't be easier. You just log in and you restore everything with just one click, and then you're all set to go again. And right now you can get 50% off by going to carbonite.com/Kim. That's carbonite.com/Kim. Let me tell you, Andrew, I don't know if you saw the callers that we have on Bank today.
Yes.
But they are each and every one of them are phenomenal.
Big show.
It is going to be a big show. We're also going to talk about some mistakes that you're making with AI. We got a whole bunch of other tips that you don't want to miss here on the Kim Komando Show. You know, this is the song that the astronauts woke up to one morning.
Were you doing a TikTok dance while the music was playing coming back?
You know, no, Pink Pony Club. I couldn't believe out of all the songs in the world, that's what they played in the morning for.
Pink Pony Club.
Let's see. Amber in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's start with you. What's going on?
Hi. I am calling because I am ultimately needing some help trying to get into a personal laptop. It is a shared personal computer between myself and my husband.
Okay.
But I am recently separated from my husband. The computer I would use myself fairly infrequently. I do have my own work computer, but that work computer is pretty locked down with the company that I work for. So, there would be certain things that I wouldn't be able to do on the work computer. So one of those things is our taxes.
Oh.
We, filed jointly, and I was essentially the one responsible in our marriage for completing those taxes every year. And now that we are separated, I'm trying to complete the taxes before, the nearing deadline.
Sure.
And I can't get into the computer because my husband will not share the password with me.
And you're sitting there, why did I marry him?
Yes.
Like, what was I thinking? Somebody in your life said, Amber, you could do better. And you thought, no, not at all. Okay. Now, do you need to have access to the laptop because the records are on there, or do you need to see past years, or what is it that you want to get off of that?
Well, there are certainly some things on the computer, like shared, family photos, or in the past, I have saved down photos from, old iPhones. But my biggest and most pressing concern is really just to be able to get online and complete the taxes.
Oh, okay. And so you have to use this laptop. You couldn't just go buy like a cheapo Chromebook or something like that, or borrow somebody else's?
I probably could do that, but I was hoping to avoid that.
Well, if the only thing, the reason I was asking about if there was past tax returns, you could go to irs.gov and you open an account and then say get transcripts, and then they will give you get copies of your past joint files if that's what you wanted. If he's not going to give you physical access to this machine, there's no way that, I'm good, but I'm not that good. I can't make that happen. But you may be able, like you said, to get your photos from like Google Photos or Dropbox or Amazon or some other places where they could have been stored. But, if you are separated, you have a divorce attorney, right? And the divorce attorney on your behalf can call his counsel and say, listen, she needs to have that laptop. Or else you need to pay 50% for a brand new laptop, or however you want to couch that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't think about that as far as going through the attorney. He doesn't have an attorney, but I do, who could help me facilitate that communication.
So when you ask him for the password, is he not giving it to you because he doesn't want you?
He's not giving her access to the computer.
Right, for the password to the computer. That's what she needs.
Right.
So you have the computer.
Yes, I have. Yeah, I have.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Okay. Yes, you can get onto that laptop. What kind of laptop is it?
It's an HP.
Okay. There are ways that what basically that you're going to do is you're going to boot off of you can boot off of a disk that you're going to attach to the drive itself. In addition to that, there is a way that you can get into the boot drive itself to maybe bypass a password. Okay. What I will do is I will write those instructions and I will send them to you. I thought for some reason you didn't have the laptop.
But that's what I was asking, is that if it's just the machine she needs to operate, then just erase it and start over with a new version of Windows.
Oh, she wants to get her stuff off of it.
Right.
So we don't want to erase it from the get-go.
Or is there something on there
and-
from him that he doesn't want you to see?
Which is probably
Well,
the case.
Yes, that's where this gets, a little dicey. Is the reason for the separation is infidelity,
Sure.
On his part. So, truly on my end, I do need to utilize the computer because it's the only one we have currently to be able to complete.
Now, there's
our taxes.
totally, you know what?
But
There's totally stuff on there. You know that.
yeah,
Because otherwise, and he's shaking in his boots that you're going to be seeing some of it.
right.
And once you get in, you can start snooping around, and you'll be able to see kind of what he's been hiding there. How did you find out that all this was going on?
I just kind of gut intuition knew something had been off for the last 2 years or so. I had noticed things in his phone from time to time. I mean, it was very rare because he had a good control over his phone. He would never leave it out on the counter, never leave it out in the open. But ultimately, it was actually our 3-year-old son that shared some information with me that led me to realize that he has been having an affair with a woman who used to live across the street from us.
Oh.
And he's been taking our son there to her house. So I found him at this woman's house about a month ago and, told him that we were done, that I was ending our marriage.
That's so hard. That's so hard.
Yeah.
Especially because, you have the child involved too now. That's awful.
Yeah. It really is.
Well, I'm sorry that you're going through all this, and let me give you some links it's like open source software that will allow you to create a disk or to boot off of the disk with certain keystrokes. I'm going to put you on hold, Amber, and so that this way, make sure that I know exactly the model of this HP, because sometimes it varies from whenever it was around and have different strategies to get into it. But that's not a good
None of that is fun.
That's fun. Hey, listen, credit breaches happen almost every day. Billions of records have been exposed. And right now, get 79% off at nordprotect.com/Kim. That's only $2.84 a month. nordprotect.com/Kim. That's nordprotect.com/Kim. Hey, your personal data is being sold to brokers who profit from your privacy, and you can stop them with Incogni. They've already completed over 2,800 data removals for me. And remember, they can't scam you if they can't find you. And get 60% off right now by heading to privacykim.com. That's privacykim.com. All right, so Amazon handles, how many millions and millions of customer requests a day?
Probably 1 or 2 million.
Exactly. But here's a secret move, and I put this in the newsletter the other day, and people are writing me going, oh my gosh, Kim Komando, you're a saint. Because what you do when you want to actually speak to a human being at Amazon, they've made it very, very difficult over the years because they keep wanting to send you to a chatbot. So what you do is you go to the customer service page and you select your order, and you scroll down and you tap something else. Okay. Then when the window opens, you say, talk to a representative. And then the bot's going to go, well, what about this? And what about this? What about this? What about this? And if you keep scrolling down, you see an option that says, request a phone call.
That's it?
Yes.
That's too easy.
And then you just request a phone call, and they call you within 30 seconds.
I have to remember this.
When I saw this story about Chrichelle Brown in Washington, D.C., we sometimes give the Meta AI glasses a bad rap.
Yeah, I do all the time, constantly.
Because they can be an invasion of privacy. We've had people record each other when they're having sex and not knowing about it. There was a guy in San Francisco that was harassing college gals and posting it up on TikTok, I think was it. But Chrichelle Brown is using the glasses like nobody else is using them right now. Is that, she's been legally blind since birth. And when she puts on a pair of Meta glasses, she can say, "Hey, Meta, what's in front of me?" She can pick out her own clothes. She can read a menu at Starbucks. And here to tell us about the amazing things that are now possible because of this technology is Chrichelle herself. So let me start here. So you actually figured out these glasses that were not originally designed for somebody who's visually impaired, but it's a game changer. So when did you realize like this could be something?
Me and my friends, of course, are looking for glasses, well, Bluetooth earphones, because we're not trying to have everybody listen to our information. We came across Meta, and we figured out that they had made it accessible because they were working with Be My Eyes, which is an app that helps people who are blind and visually impaired to have a volunteer on the other end. We said, okay, let's give it a try. Got the glasses, we tried them, and then we were like, oh, wait. They said they have live AI feature. Let's see something really quickly. And so we started playing with it to figure out, oh, okay, it can describe things to us. It can describe the room to us, and things like that. So I talked to my supervisor, and she was like, these glasses were not meant for the sighted. These were meant for the blind. I said, this is true. I said, it's a potato chip situation. I don't think Meta realized how much of a potato chip this situation was, because it was just mostly meant for people to be able to do Facebook and Messenger and things like that and record videos, not knowing that their AI augment had become so adaptive that it made everything descriptive to the point where people didn't need to have that extra person to help them at the store, because sometimes, people at the store can't find items.
Yeah. Yeah.
So can you tell us a story or an event or a time where you use the feature on the glasses and then even yourself, you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe
that this is happening,
that now I'm doing this because of the glasses?
So I actually had to go pick up something from the Giant. It was early in the morning, and of course there's not a lot of people in the customer service section. And I had been waiting maybe 5-10 minutes for somebody. Normally it takes 20 minutes if you're waiting in the morning. I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to do that. I put on my glasses because I wanted to save the battery. I put on the glasses, connected it, made sure it was connected to my phone, and then I turned on the Be My Eyes to be able to get down to the section that I needed with the glasses. So I didn't have to hold my phone out. I was holding my cane, which was amazing. And then once I got to the section, I turned them off, and I used the live AI feature to ask them to help me find the specific items I was looking for in that area, which is a lot easier than what people may think. I was able to ask it which flavors that they see, which level was it on in the store. I was able to read the the ingredients just to make sure that it was, catered to me and not me getting something that I couldn't eat. And then I was able to then reconnect it with the Be My Eyes to get the volunteer on the other end to help me find my way back to the register so that I can get out and go and get my ride so I can get to work. That's when I was running late.
I talk about having some independence. That's phenomenal.
It's definitely a game changer from what everybody else does. But I always tell people, it's meant to be an assistant, but it's not meant to take away the training and things that you learned with your cane travel skills or the independent living skills you had already gained. It's just meant to advance it.
Now, Be My Eyes, great app. And I have it on my phone, by the way. And for anybody who's not familiar, it's where somebody who is visually impaired, they need to describe, or they need you to tell them what they're seeing. And so just the other day, I had it up, and a guy popped in, and he just wanted to know if this was a $5 bill or a $10 bill, right? And, and then I joked with, I said, it's a 50. And he's like, oh, no. He's like, no, I know it's a 5 or a 10. So I was like, no, just kidding. It's 10. But having the ability to tie that into the Meta eyeglasses, that's really something.
It's definitely helpful, because imagine if you have a cane in your hand, and let's say if it's raining, you have the umbrella in your hand, and then you have to use the Be My Eyes feature, but then you have to hold up your phone. You didn't have any hands to begin with left to be able to do it. But with the glasses, everything is just voice activation away. So I don't have to take out my phone all the time to be able to help me find stuff, which is safe for me because you never know if you're going to run past somebody who may be a pickpocketer or somebody may bump into you. You drop your phone, the people aren't trying to help you, that they help you drop your phone but aren't trying to help you. So it does make it a lot safer and easier to maneuver around busy areas specifically.
You just said something interesting. You said, just imagine. And I can't imagine. The things you're describing that you are now allowed to accomplish are something I just take for granted. Walking into a store, checking ingredients, and walking out. But now, this is totally a game changer for you, like you said.
It is. It's definitely helpful. And it's been a joy to be able to help other people be able to learn how to use the glasses as well.
Yeah, you teach, don't I understand? I understand that you teach classes.
Yes. But we are probably one of the first organizations that actually started doing it where we teach, where I specifically teach other people who are blind or visually impaired to use the glasses. So I'm there with you from the time you get the glasses and you need it to be set up to we go and we do a Starbucks run. Because I'm not just going to show you it, I'm going to make sure that you have it in practice so that way you know how to do it yourself.
So you must get all kinds of great reactions from the students when they go to Starbucks, huh?
They're like, oh, I can read this sign. And luckily, the Starbucks people that we have next door, they're very understandable and very accommodating when it comes to me taking up a little bit of time for them to be able to find the different products and finding their own straws and finding their own way how to find the seats. I'm like, let them find it.
Don't help them too much. We need to have them do it. Well, gosh, I'm so glad that you told us more about it. Like I said, when I saw your story, I was like, this is really something. You know, you're such an inspiration, really. And what you're doing is amazing. And the classes are at clb.org. Is that it?
So that's our website. The classes are at our Silver Spring location at 8757 Georgia Avenue in Silver Spring, Maryland. They are more than happy to give us a call. I will 9 times out of 10 be the one that answers the phone for them. And they can ask about the glasses. I do an information session before we do the training because I say try before you buy. So I let them try my own glasses just so they can get a feel of it since it's already set up before they actually go and purchase their own because it's not a cheap expense.
No, they're not cheap at all. They're like $500, and which you know that's really something. But isn't that a great story?
I'd spend $500 to help me see if I couldn't.
Wow, but the independence that you would get.
Also, the ingenuity to go, hey, these could be my eyes. Like she said when she started the call, no, glasses are for people who can see, just not great. No, these glasses are for the blind.
Yeah, they are. Gosh, love that story. Hey, look, Mother's Day is coming up, and I want her gift to be something she actually enjoys every single day. Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic are just perfect for that. I use mine pretty much nonstop when I'm working, traveling, even catching up on podcasts. They've become my go-to. The sound is fantastic, and with active noise cancellation, I can block out distractions when I need to. And they've just added a whole bunch of smart upgrades. Multi-point connectivity lets you pair with 2 devices at once. The ergonomic fit is comfortable, stays put, no matter what I'm doing. And I love the colors. I got cool mint. Ooh, so fresh. It's a nice change from basic black or white. Battery life strong, up to 32 hours. And I just had to use this last night. A quick 10-minute charge gives me 90 minutes of playtime. Awareness mode, super important if you're ever out walking your dogs so you hear what's going on around you. And so celebrate all the moms in your life. Go to buyraycon.com/Kim and get 15% off. That's buyraycon.com/Kim. All right, so stop me if this sounds familiar. You're using your favorite AI chatbot, and you're working on some type of project or some type of assignment that you've been given or a task, whatever you want to call it. And then the chatbot comes in has no idea what you're talking about. And it's like, it's totally new to them. You're like, I just spent an hour describing this all to you. And it's happened to you, right?
Oh, all the time. My daughter made a hand puppet out of paper. And I took a picture of her hand with the puppet in it. And I asked ChatGPT to make a picture out of it. And then I said, no, change it this way. Same picture. Change it this way. Same picture. It just kept spitting out the same thing.
You're like, Stop that already. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and Grok, they all have what's called memory features. So most people never even touch it. But you go into settings and personalization and then memory. And then Claude, it's under a profile. Gemini and Grok, it lives under settings. But what you want to do is turn the memory on. And then you can actually make a quick profile for yourself, like your job, your budget, your priorities, whatever you may be doing. And the more context you give it, the smarter that it gets. And if you ever want to see what it knows about you, is that you can go into memory and then you can read this whole dossier of everything that you ever told it.
I really want to look at that. That's interesting.
You should. You know, the oldest computer can be traced back to Adam and Eve.
Can it now?
Yes, it was an apple, but with extremely limited memory. Just one byte, and everything crashed.
Oh, they've been so awful so far today. So bad.
You know, people stop me on the streets and they say, Kim Komando, however can you be so incredibly funny? I'm like, I don't know how I do it myself.
They don't do that.
We have more of your phone calls coming up. You know, every time you go online, internet service providers track your every move. You can protect your privacy like I do by using ExpressVPN. You get up to 4 extra months at expressvpn.com/Kim. That's expressvpn.com/Kim. Just a reminder that if you get the current, I'm running our new referral program. I don't know if you heard about this.
I have. You told me multiple times.
And so if you scroll down to the bottom of the current, you have a unique URL, and that's the URL that you can share with other people. We had somebody put it like on their next door, and they were like winning all kinds of prizes because people are signing up for the newsletter. So you can win a hoodie, a tumbler, a cup, and there's also a way for you to win a virtual meet and greet with me.
Virtual.
Yes.
You're not flying to Sheboygan.
No.
All right.
We'll have
virtual's still pretty cool.
It'll be fun.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
So again, if you're already getting the newsletter called The Current, scroll down and check out that referral program. And if you're not, head over to getkim.com to sign up. That's getkim.com. How about Aaron in Reno, Nevada? Hi there, Aaron. Welcome aboard.
Hi, Kim. How you doing?
Great. What's going on with you?
So I got a question for you. For the last, 10, 15 years, however, since the iPhone 3, we've all been a family of iPhone users. And this last upgrade, my 12-year-old decided to get the latest and greatest Android. And there's a couple things about it that is difficult for me, just checking up on, what he's doing online. Can't, of course, send him Apple Pay anymore. But the big one is I wanted to find out if there's a way that I can track him from an iPhone, track his Android. I looked a couple things up online. There was like Bark and
first I want to know, like, how did he pay for it by himself?
Right. How old is he?
Because they're expensive. Some of these big ones.
He's 12. We just we've always just upgraded, every year to the newest phones. I don't know. That's just who we are, I guess. But yeah, you're right. They're expensive, but
you said he got the phone. You got it for him. You just didn't tell him.
Yeah, that's a family plan.
Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of part of his Christmas present. Let's call it that.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
And when he said I wanted an Android, instead of you saying absolutely not, this is an iPhone family, you were like, yeah, sure, give it a shot.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
And so here we are 3 months later.
You're regretting that decision.
Yeah. Well, like the other day, he spent an extra 45 minutes after school playing soccer with his friends, and I couldn't get a hold of him. I had no way to track him. And so this also comes into a security thing as a dad to know where your kids are. So I just thought you'd know the best resource.
Probably I would look at Life 360. I think that would probably be the best one. It works on iPhones, Androids. You'll be able to see exactly where he's located.
Here's some of the great things about Life 360, because we use it, is that when they leave an area or arrive to an area,
you get a notification.
So with iPhone, you'd have to go to Find My or go to the person's contact and click on that to track them. This tracks them in real time and updates you.
Oh, excellent.
How else do you guys use it?
We use it a lot for contacting each other. It's basically also a great way to see if the 16-year-old's been speeding. Because
well, he's only 12. He's not there yet.
when she drives to work and she speeds, we get a notification saying Mackenzie just finished a very dangerous drive or a risky drive if she was only going 65 in a 40.
I am so thankful that we didn't have that when I was a 16-year-old.
And then we just take a screenshot and send it to her. And, obviously we get left on red because what is she going to say? She knows she was speeding.
Yeah, so probably Live 360. There's the Google Family link, and that's free. But I don't know. I would probably just look at the Live 360 or get the kid an iPhone and say this is just the way it is.
Just keep this in your other pocket.
Yeah, no kidding.
Here's an iPhone 13, okay?
You look like a drug dealer, but at least I know where you are.
That's awful, Andrew.
He laughed.
Little Kai.
After hearing your last joke, I think I'll share with you something that's a fun fact. I've been listening to you for over a decade, but just like 40 minutes a week on my commute to work, one day a week. And the first year or so that I was listening to your show, I had an IT guy at work named Kim. He was a fantastic, smartest Asian guy ever. And I thought you were Asian guy.
Tim Komando.
No.
I went to your website and I'm like, oh my gosh,
She's a blonde.
Got it.
Not only is she not a Tim, she's not Asian.
No, he knew my name was Kim.
Yeah.
He knew it was Kim.
Oh, I thought it was Tim. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess Kim could be an Asian guy.
I
You're
thought
right.
I was some Asian guy.
He was So anyway, I'll leave you guys with that. Thanks for the answer.
That's so funny.
An Asian guy. Well, at least you know what, Aaron. Thanks for that, because at least you don't think I'm going under transformation. Like
Konnichiwa, Aaron. Konnichiwa.
We'll be right back. Hey, for small businesses, every hire matters, but finding the right person takes time and energy. That's why I use LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Right now, post your first job and get $100 off by going to linkedin.com/Kim. That's linkedin.com/Kim. Terms and conditions apply. So how much data do you think that Google has about you right now?
Oh, like data points?
Yes.
I don't know, 15,000?
Well, if you go to myactivity.google.com, you can see every Google search that you've ever done.
I don't want that.
Any YouTube video that you've ever watched.
Let's go ahead and erase that one.
If you have Google Home, any voice recording that you ever made.
Delete those two.
And you can do that by going to myactivity.google.com. Once again, it's myactivity.google.com. Hey, listen, I'm really pushing this referral program. So if you haven't already checked it out and you do get the newsletter, scroll to the bottom. And if you don't get the current, join a million folks every day who do at getkim.com. You know, I was talking to my niece about this the other day. I was probably in my, I would say, mid-20s, and I was at my sister's house, and I was laying out in the sun in a lounge chair by her pool because I had a massive hangover.
Okay.
And my niece Danielle comes over and she said, "Kim, will you tie my shoe?" Because she's like 2. And I'm like, oh. So I get up and I tie her shoe.
That's a bad hangover.
What?
You're rolling your eyes at a 2-year-old.
Okay. Then she goes away. She comes back like 2 minutes later. She's like, "Kim, would you tie my shoes?" Because she's untying them. And I tie them again. I'm like, oh. Okay. She goes back. The third time, "Kim, would you tie my shoes?" And I'm like, I said, "Tie your own shoes." And then she threw a temper tantrum.
Deservedly so.
Okay. And I've hence apologized to her. So, multiple times.
And why are we opening ourselves up to this story?
Because on TikTok, there is a viral video that shows you what to do when your child is having a temper tantrum.
Okay.
Is that what you do is you say to them, "Jessica."
You call them Jessica no matter what their name is?
And the kids start looking for Jessica, and it throws them off on having a temper.
Just confuse them?
Yeah. So you just say Jessica. and then it seems to work. And
That's interesting.
there are multiple videos of people that their kids are having temper tantrums, and then mom or dad goes, Jessica, and then they stop.
Kids a whole generation's going to have trauma connected to the word Jessica.
Yeah, well, it's like they'll meet somebody by Jessica. Like,
Right.
Oh, you're
sorry. There you are. We found her. Mom,
Man.
we found her.
So, what branch of the military will accept toddlers?
I don't know.
The infantry.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, yes. I'm on a roll today, baby, because after all, it's the nation's largest, biggest, and best award-winning show about all things digital. I'm, of course, your digital goddess, trademarked, Kim Komando, and joining us is my co-host, Andrew Babinski, and you can find us in your favorite streaming radio app, and we're on over 430 stations from coast to coast, and you can also check us out on YouTube.
YouTube.com/Kim Komando. We post the shows. We post the podcast. Go and subscribe.
You're going to love it. And I'd like to thank NetSuite for helping to make this show possible. You know, every business is asking the same question. How do we make AI work for us? The possibilities are endless, and guessing is just too risky. Sitting on the sidelines, not an option. Your competitors are already making their move. With NetSuite by Oracle, you can put AI to work today. As the #1 AI cloud ERP trusted by over 43,000 businesses, it brings your financials, inventory, commerce, HR, and CRM into one single source of truth, making your AI smarter. It doesn't guess, it just knows. It automates routine tasks, delivers insights, cuts costs, and powers fast AI decisions. With NetSuite's AI connector, you can take the AI you already trust and connect it straight into your business. This isn't another add-on tool. It's built into the system that actually runs your business. And so if your business brings in 7 figures, let NetSuite help you stay ahead. Get their free business guide, Demystifying AI, at netsuite.com/Kim. That's netsuite.com/Kim. The guide is completely free to you at netsuite.com/Kim. Let's see, a couple of things that you know about that's happening in the tech world. And we're going to start with a story that I saw in Wired. A 53-year-old by the name of Lisa Ann. She has spent 3 decades in the porn industry. Look familiar to you?
No.
She retired because she said she made all the money that she'll ever need.
Okay.
Last year, a London-based company called OnChat, and they said, can we license your likeness, your voice, your body, your hair, and let AI create a version of you for paying customers?
Okay.
She said, yeah, $30 a month. Anyone can generate X-rated scenes in any position with her AI clone.
Now, I'm not trying to be too graphic, but the scenes, am I inserting myself as the paying customer?
This is something that I have not tested.
Okay. Or, I mean, it is AI, so I could just upload a picture of myself, right? And it could do the same thing it's doing with her likeness.
I think it's just her.
Okay.
So she lives in LA, and she said she's just making so much money at this.
Really? Yeah. So she's that famous of a name that people are going to do $30 a month.
They've also done Carmen Electra.
Okay, so she's not even a porn star. That's just an actress.
Joe Exotic.
The guy from Tiger King?
Yes, I said the same thing. I'm like, oh my gosh. The guy from Tiger King.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Do they have Carol Baskin so I can put them in the same video together?
Oh my gosh. What is this world coming to?
Seriously, $30 a month so you can see Tiger King doing it? We got too much money.
All right, moving on. Let's say you just left your job. You get a phone call, and the company says to you, you know all that work that you did for that company? Do you have any copies of it? Any type of spreadsheets, PowerPoints, documentation, research papers, data analytics, whatever it is. And you're like, you know, I might, because why are you asking? They say, well, we will pay you top dollar for it because we want to train AI. According to the Wall Street Journal, a company called Murmur is shopping for ex-workers' output and then feeding it into AI models that will research everything. Now, the problem is that the company may own it.
Right. I was going to say, I don't think I own that.
No.
All the reports that are generated at my company, even if I have them sitting printed out on my desk, they're They're generated by the software that my company pays for. I didn't pay for it.
I think that's a big hard pass for some cash. I wouldn't do it.
No, I mean, it's a little risky if they find out that you're doing it.
If this ever happened to me, this next story, I would lose it. I would totally go ballistic. I would be on the news.
Okay.
Okay. I would be on a viral video.
Asian woman Kim Komando. That's from the other hour.
That was from the other hour. You're booking your flight on American Airlines. And let's just say, for example, you land in Phoenix. You're going from, say, London to Phoenix.
Okay.
But you really want to go to Tucson. And I don't know if this is the exact route, but let's just say that's it. So you land in Phoenix, and then you're looking for your gate, and you find something. You're like, hey, I can't find this gate to get me to Tucson. And they go, oh, you have to go outside the terminal and find a bus. Yes, you have to check your itineraries now to make sure that wherever you're going, that it says you're on a plane and not on a bus.
What?
Yes. Could you imagine? Collect your bags and we'll meet you at the bus.
I see a ticket online. If I'm understanding this correctly, I see a ticket online. It says London to Phoenix, 3 stops. Dallas, Tucson, then your final destination, Phoenix. And I fly into Dallas. I take off from Dallas. I fly into Tucson. And then I find out in Tucson that my third leg is a bus.
Is ground transportation. So if you're shopping for airfare online, make sure that it says a plane.
Are they teaming up with bus companies with like Greyhound? And I mean, you would be able to notice, right? That instead of the flight being 14 hours, it's 39 hours.
No.
That's crazy.
I know. Okay, I would lose it.
Yeah.
I would lose it.
You would?
I would. I mean, talking about busing a move.
Doesn't even make sense.
But you're laughing.
I'm smiling.
You are. You're laughing. So Amazon has something called Project Cobe. Have you heard about this?
Mm-mm.
They say that they're going to be taking on both Walmart and Costco together within a retail store. Now, this is not their first parade at the retail tries, right?
No, haven't all of their retail stores
Failed.
closed?
Yes.
So much so that they had to go buy Whole Foods to make sure that they had a retail store?
There was that little purchase. Okay.
I'm sure it was really cheap.
Well, I think it was like Jeff Bezos. He was talking to Alexa and he said,
Hey, Alexa, can you buy Whole Foods for me?
Exactly. It's like, not a problem. Not a problem, Jeff. Let me check your checking account. These are going to be 250,000 square feet super center stores.
Okay.
Groceries, merchandise, and it's going to be an automated fulfillment center, which makes sense. So you can actually shop in their fulfillment center. Then they don't have to send it to you.
Right.
Okay. And then whatever you pick off the shelf, it's going to be like the robots are going to and then put it into a cart, and then you meet them at the front, and then you pay.
Do I actually walk up and down physical shelves, or is it a touch screen?
You walk down, you can inspect the merchandise.
I go ahead and I select something on an app or a tablet or something. My phone.
That's it.
Okay.
But the question is, would you do that?
Sure, absolutely.
I wouldn't.
Why?
Like, I needed a new ring light.
Uh-huh.
Am I going to go to an Amazon store when I can go on Amazon.com, ping, pay $4.99 and have it at my doorstep I paid $4.99 for extra delivery.
Right.
Within 3 hours. By the time I get in the car, drive down there,
Is it going to be more affordable because there actually is no shipping on there? Because Prime.
No. Let me finish. It's not going to be more affordable.
Okay.
Because you're going to be shopping around and you're going to go, oh, I'll take that. It's like when you go to Costco for one thing.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, no. We went to Costco for 3 things. Didn't get any 3 of them. Spent $244.
Exactly. But what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say there's got to be a reason. Basically, what they're saying is we're going to build a bunch of warehouses, but we're going to have them look like storefronts as well.
Yes.
As another way of making money.
Exactly. Because they need more money.
They do. They're hurting.
They do. It's just, how can you survive on making $1 million every minute?
It also just sounds like an ego trip, right? when the lead line of the story is they want to take down Walmart and Costco.
Yeah, probably. All right, so NVIDIA is behind all the AI chips, right? So they have released a new system. It's called Persona Plex. You're on the phone with your bank, your card gets declined, you call your bank, and you used to get a chatbot. Says, how can I help you?
Right.
And you press 1, press 2, or whatever it is. Listen to this.
I'm stuck here in line at Home Depot. I've got a bunch of tools that I'm trying to buy, and my card got declined. Can you?
Oh, no, that's never fun. Let me check your account. Can I get your full name and date of birth, please?
Yeah, my name is James Hammer, and my date of birth is March 7, 1952.
Thanks, James. Let me pull that up real quick. One moment, please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I see the issue. There was a transaction for $1,200 at Home Depot.
Okay, that banker with the Indian accent is AI.
Sounds like AI.
Oh, I didn't think so at all.
Listen to the pacing. There is no natural pacing at all in that conversation. And there are dead starts and dead stops. I'm watching a ton of videos on AI, and I'm making some, and they all sound the same. It's this non-human. Now, are they going to get there? Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
If you'd have played that for me, well, obviously, if you'd have played it for me, I knew it would be AI, because otherwise, why would you play it for me?
Okay, well, here. I have a test for you.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to play you this clip, and I know which one is AI.
Okay.
See if you can tell me which one is AI.
Hey, you want to hear a funny joke?
Yes.
Okay. I haven't even said it yet, but
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, it's going to be really funny when I actually say the joke.
Okay.
So, why did the picture go to prison?
To get away from the mirror.
No, because it was framed.
Oh. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
both are AI. The female obviously sounds AI because of the laugh. The ha, 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 ha. It sounds very created. But I'm going to say both of those voices are AI. Okay.
The man was a human,
The man was a human. Okay.
but the
Ha, 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 ha. Was definitely AI.
God, that's like going to be a nightmare now. Awful.
That's what it's going to sound like when
But-
the AI chatbots take
Okay.
over all of us.
But this is really something you have to be aware of, is that with deepfake voices, you used to have those more dramatic pauses than what's possible right now, or what they're doing right now.
Right.
So if you ever get a deepfake phone call, you make sure that you have the family code word handy too.
Yes.
So it's going to get really bad. All right, every spam call, every scammy text, every sketchy email that knows your name, they all pretty much start the same way. Someone found you. Your phone number is sitting on a data broker site right now, and so is your home address, your email, your age, even the names of your family members and their ages. And all of it is searchable, and all of it is for sale to who knows who. Now, scammers do not need to be hackers to get it. They just need Google in a couple of minutes. Americans lost $12.5 billion to scams last year. And here's what nobody talks about. Every single one of these scams started with one thing, right? Information about you. And it was available to the wrong person. And the real fix is that you disappear. And that's what Incogni does. They contact over 400 data brokers and legally force them to remove your information. Now, remember, they can't spam you if they can't find you. They can't scam you if they don't know that you even exist. And right now, you can get 60% off and take your privacy back by going to privacykim.com. Once again, that's privacykim.com. All right, let's see. Coming up, we have our AI tool of the week. This one's really sweet, and it's 100% free. We're also going to answer the question, can AI help you pick the right stocks and you can make some money? And of course, we have some more great phone calls here on the Kim Komando Show. Let's see. Calvin in Roanoke, Virginia. Welcome aboard. Hey there, Calvin. What's going on with you?
Trying to get my business up and running of a knife and tool and sharpening business. I've been a big fan of yours. I listen to you on podcast every week.
Oh, thank you for that.
But I thought, well, maybe Kim can help me out with this situation. The situation is I started my knife and tool sharpening business last year.
Okay.
And I went through getting a Google email, Gmail. I did a YouTube channel. I did a Facebook, and also tried to get a Google business profile.
That's important.
And I submitted it. It came back that I didn't do this right, didn't do that right. So I resubmitted. I did a video. I thought I had everything. Came back again. Did not live up to community standards. Did it again. After the second time, it said I didn't live up to community standards and no other way to get verified.
Oh,
So
well, that's kind of a poopy situation. It's very frustrating. I have seen this happen before. Do you have a physical location, or did you? I think you said mobile. Did you say mobile?
Yes, I was. I first submitted it like I had a physical location.
Then you did say service area business.
Yes, service area business. It listed like 10 different areas.
Okay.
What's the name of your business?
Bill's Knife and Tool Sharpening.
Okay.
Well, that's
so nothing
crazy,
obscene or anything like that.
Sometimes when you get into this support loop, it can get pretty annoying because you're right. You're not going to find anybody to talk to.
Not at Google. They don't have just people waiting by the phone to take our calls.
They don't. I'm sorry, they don't.
Darn it.
Sometimes when you're in there, you can look for something called a postcard verification, and in 5 days, you'll get a postcard with the verification ID on it. You can see if that's available. The other thing you do is go on X and reach out to Google My Biz, and that's the handle, Google My Biz, and that's Google's support team that actually monitors it.
People?
Yes, a human being.
Hallelujah.
Don't ever do that again.
Okay.
And they respond to small business owners. I've had to do that myself. But keep in mind too that if you have your business listed, it's very anal, this verification process. So like if you have your business listed as, say, one place you do street, STREET, and then another place you just do ST, it's going to throw it out.
It doesn't match.
It doesn't match.
Can't verify.
Nope. Sorry. Then you get in this loop, can't verify. But again, it's at Google My Biz on X. Try that, and I bet it'll work out for you. And thank you for your call. I've tried several antivirus products over the years, and when something better comes along, I switch. WebRoot Essentials keeps all your devices protected without slowing you down. Get 62% off right now at webroot.com/Kim. Hey, if your computer crashed today, what files would you lose? Everything, your photos, your documents, years and years of work, memories just gone. That's why I use Carbonite. It's my #1 choice for cloud backup. Get 50% off right now at carbonite.com/Kim. That's carbonite.com/Kim. Live a better digital life with Carbonite. Let's see. We have our AI tool of the week coming up in just a few minutes, and you're going to love this one. It's just really, truly amazing. And it's free, and some people are paying $180 a year for this AI tool, and I'm going to tell you I can get it 100% free. Let's see. Juliet in San Antonio, Texas. She's joining us next. And 1 out of every 3 pets will go missing in their lifetime. And with Juliet, there was a storm in San Antonio, big thunderstorm. And it's like here in Phoenix when you have a thunderstorm. Her senior blind dog, Sandy, just bolted out. She drove every street. She checked every shelter. I mean, Juliet, you did all that you could to find Sandy.
Oh, yes, I did.
And how long did you look for Sandy?
Oh, I never stopped looking for her. I looked every single day. I looked online. After work, I'd go drive around the neighborhood. I'd drive out blocks all around the surrounding area. My kids went to the shelters looking for her. So constantly looked for her.
And then you used an AI tool.
Yes, about the fourth day that she was missing, I was looking online. I checked the shelters, and then it took me to Petco Love Lost, and I signed up. I downloaded some of her pictures, and every day, 3 times a day, I check. I check in the mornings. I would check throughout the day. Before I went to bed, I would check. And one morning, 4th of July, when I woke up, she was the first one that popped up, and I was so happy.
Wow. And so how did the Petco AI tool know it was knew it was Sandy from all the photos, but where was Sandy at that time?
She was in a foundation picked her up.
I see.
Yes, and they had posted her pictures, and I mean, it was my girl. It was my girl.
Now, does the AI just scan other like pounds and stuff like that for people who are getting dogs for adoption, or is it scanning everything to try and find a match? Facebook, other social media platforms.
I believe it searches everything, because I know it does take you like to Nextdoor and stuff.
Okay.
And it will direct you like to other
places.
Media.
Yeah, where you can find.
But I mean,
so not just shelters.
Yes.
And so how long was Sandy gone?
A little over a month.
Oh wow!
Wow, that is something. So
yes.
So Sandy got a big treat when she got home. I bet.
Oh yes! As soon as we picked her up, we took her to go get a pup cup, and she was happy.
I would have loved to have seen the reaction. You know, our dogs, when we come home, they're so excited to see us just walking through the door for being gone for a day. A whole month, Sandy must have been going crazy.
I mean, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm gone for like 3 hours, and Bella races towards the door.
I thought you were never coming
exactly.
back.
You left, and then I'm like, I always ask Bear, I'm like, did you feed the dogs? Oh yeah, I did. I'm like, they look starving. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's such a great story. It is.
Yeah.
So how did she go missing? Did she just bolt out and she got scared because of the thunderstorm?
The thunderstorms were coming in, and usually she's outside and stuff, but we had lost our house, so I had a double lot, so she was with my parents, and with the storms coming in, actually nobody happened to be home at that time, so nobody was able to get her like into the garage or get her inside. And the storms, she's so scared of thunder, and it came and she just bolted.
Well,
and,
I'm so glad that everything worked out. It really did, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really something that tool does exist.
You know, my kids and their mom found a dog in a far suburb of Phoenix, Queen Creek, Arizona, and they brought it home because they wanted to help find the owner, and they put it up on all social media. Nothing, no leads, no one calling, no one messaging. Put it on Nextdoor. Within 5 minutes, the owner had called.
Oh, you're kidding.
So my thing is, if you find a dog or you're looking for your dog, look everywhere.
Exactly. We want to look every single place. Let's see. I'd like to take Sue in Colorado Springs next. Sue in Colorado Springs. Hi there, Sue.
Hi, Kim and Andrew. It's so fun to talk to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your call. So, what can we do to help you out today?
Well, my son's family lost their home in the Altadena fire last year.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a bummer. And they didn't have receipts for stuff, obviously, and the insurance didn't pay the full amount that they were insured for. And I don't want this to happen to me. I live in Colorado where wildfires are common. And I saw your tips about taking photos or video of household items and then uploading it to AI. But I wondered if that is really safe. I don't want it to be forever recorded in some data center.
Yeah, there is that. Okay, there are some ways that you can avoid that. But let me just back up just a second. See, I was talking about is that in the Splash of AI newsletter that you can get at splashofai.com, is that if you are trying to do a home inventory, the old way is that you take a picture and then you put it into an inventory app, and then you go to eBay to figure out how much it was worth or whatever it may be. And see, but now what you can do is you can turn on your AI chatbot and turn on the camera and just talk to it and then show it things in the room and say, I want you to compile a complete inventory list for me, and then figure out what each value is for each individual item. And you can take photos too if you want, but I've done this myself. It takes 20 minutes. And and when you open the cabinets, you might want to say, this is a Vitamix mixer, this is a KitchenAid, whatever it is. And in addition to that, I have a box of my mom's collectibles. I still have Yadro. And so I went through the whole Yadro collection. And I tried to do that 5 years ago, and I was like, this is just way beyond my pay grade right now.
How long did it take for you to do the whole house?
About an hour.
And you have a big house. I mean,
about an hour.
So for someone like me, it would probably be less than that.
2 minutes. I'm kidding. Just teasing. And so it really does work. Now, so your question, Sue, about, then this becomes part of your memory that your chatbot knows it does. Every chatbot has the way for you to do a temporary session. So, so if you don't want it to be part of your record or concerned who might have access to it? Because, whatever you put in your chatbot, they are using it to train. Okay. And if you don't want that in there, that's where you can start erasing the memory. But anything that you gave it already is already there. And it's kind of like Google on steroids, because people are telling their chatbots every single thing. I saw a stat the other day that 60% of people are using their chat to talk about relationships.
60%?
Yeah, I found that crazy. Do you believe that, Sue? I think that's too high.
Sue's not even going to show the chatbot a picture of her kitchen. She's definitely not talking to him about her relationships.
So let me tell you, chat, this is what's going on. So does that answer your question? Just go ahead and do it.
Yeah. So I just, when I start doing the inventory, I just say to AI, use this as a temporary session, and then
No. You have to go into your settings and then then say it's a temporary chat. And then if you look at the exact prompt that I put in the newsletter, there's some words in there that are particular. Like, I want you to be an insurance claim adjuster. Okay. And then flag anything over $1,000 that I might need additional coverage for. And then after you do the inventory, what I did is that I sent that inventory list to my insurance adjuster and said, is there anything in here that looks like I need additional coverage for? And there were some items, some stereo stuff and, some studio stuff. But gosh, what a time saver.
Would you agree, though, that this sounds like a job for Claude? Because in my personal experience, ChatGPT converting information within the chat to a spreadsheet is not as good as Claude.
Well, I did use Claude.
Okay.
But I want to make sure that, people have certain likes. Like she said, ChatGPT.
Yeah, it's true.
I got a little note this morning that said, "Oh, you hate Elon Musk because you never talk about Grok." Okay, well, I actually respect Elon Musk.
She just hates his cars.
That's true. I think he can do a better job at that. Just because I got taken, but just it's a little hurt that I have here. But I think Grok can sometimes go to extremes. I have tried it several times. Have you used it?
One time. But,
that's it.
Yeah, I was enough. I already paid for 2. So I was like, I'm not even going to get a third one involved.
Yeah.
But when it comes to numbers and analytics and work stuff, I always use Claude.
See, now, Gemini got a little better this past week. It was falling behind.
Okay.
It seems to be catching up just a little bit.
Well, ChatGPT, I think, has been drinking when it comes to image creation over the last 2 weeks.
It has been drinking for it is drunk.
It's so bad, though.
It is so bad. And it's so sad because it came out of the chute like.
Right. And it's the go-to. I mean, it's the brand name. It's the Nike.
I know, but it's not that good.
No.
You got to try the other ones. Hey, you know that glow that you see on people who just seem to radiate health? It's not just good lighting, it's what's happening inside their bodies. And one of the best kept secrets to looking and feeling amazing is collagen. You see, as we age, our bodies naturally produce less collagen, which can lead to wrinkles, thinning hair, brittle nails, and just feeling less flexible that we used to be. But the good news is that you can support your body naturally. With high quality collagen from Native Path, you are actually giving your body the building blocks it needs to support smoother looking skin and stronger nails and shinier hair. And some studies also suggest that collagen supplements may actually support bone health too. We're not going to turn back time, but we can feel our very best at any age. And right now, as a Kim Komando Show listener, you can get Native Path collagen for just a fraction of the retail price, plus free shipping and a free gift bundle. Just go to getnativepath.com/Kim. That's getnativepath.com/Kim.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Individual results may vary.
Okay, so Google dropped this the other day. Then there were no press releases. There was no blog post. There was zero. But because I'm an insider, I knew about it.
Okay.
It's called Google AI Edge Eloquent.
Sounds fancy.
Okay. It is phenomenal. It is so good.
What is it?
It is AI voice recorder. And so you can record whatever you want. Like I've been using it for prompts. So instead of typing out a prompt, I say, just say, I want you to do this, 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 and this. And then after you put everything in there, there are 4 options that you can say, key points that it turns into a bullet list, formal, clean up thoughts. So it's going to get rid of all the uhs and ahs and things like that. Short will compress it. And it's only available for iOS right now, which Android means it's probably going to be coming out. Normally, like it's the next week because they kind of tear it off. And I was really surprised that they did iOS first because normally they do Android first.
Well, it is Google.
But I think what they're trying to do is that there are so many AI apps right now that will do this. And they cost like $15 a month. But what they're doing is they're going to capture the marketplace and then go to Android or get the bugs worked out on iOS or the distribution or whatever it may be. But again, it's called Google AI Edge Eloquent. And there's also something that they released called CC. Now, I've also been using CC. If you have a Gmail account, every morning you get a synopsis of the emails that you haven't responded to, any follow-ups that you need, your daily appointments, and there's a wait list for that. Now, I'm on being the digital goddess, I got on.
Oh, of course.
But you might have to wait,
I'll
is
wait.
what I'm saying.
I don't need a synopsis of the Kohl's and Nike.com ads that are sitting in my Gmail account right now.
You never know. You never know. Hey, we have more of the show coming up. Hey, passwords are the key to your digital life, but if you're reusing them or putting on a number, you're practically hanging up a big "come on in and steal from me" sign for hackers. And NordPass can help. And right now, get 52% off at nordpass.com/Kim. That's nordpass.com/Kim. All right, this is totally going viral. This is amazing. This guy in Amsterdam by the name of Tonino Catapano came up with a way that could make your Mac moan. When you hit it, it moans.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
Yeah, we talked about it. Didn't we talk about it last week?
Well, we've got him here now.
Oh.
He's talking about it. So, 2 million people watched this video that you put up? Tonino?
Yeah, hello. Hi.
So how did you figure out that you could make a Mac make sounds like this?
Yeah, it's a very funny story. So I saw this project online, an open source project, where a person was experimenting with the accelerometer and, make it react to basically like slaps and making a noise. And so I just took my phone and recorded a video, just literally like in 5 minutes, and put it on Instagram. And I do not have a big following, so I was not expecting much from it. But overnight, it went totally viral. Like it totaled, I think, 1 million views in less than 24 hours, something like that.
Wow.
And a lot of, yes. And so many people asked, where is the app? I do not understand this. What is a GitHub repo? I don't know. And so since I'm a very seasoned software engineer, I did what everyone would do. I started hacking, and in less than 48 hours, I put out a simple Mac app to do just that. Like slap your MacBook and make a noise.
And we have some of the noises. Let's hear it.
Combo. No problem.
And this is any time that the MacBook moves, it's going to make this noise.
Correct, yes.
No problem.
I tailored the algorithm. Yes, I tailored the algorithm to make so that it doesn't trigger if you move it just around, but it kind of like tries to detect exactly the slap.
So when you slap your Mac, you hear a sound. Now you also have screaming goats, moans, I think farts.
Yes, correct.
That must have been a big board meeting when you guys decided to go ahead and add farts to the equation.
Hey, you know what? If Elon Musk could make a Tesla fart,
this is true.
I mean, we can make a Mac fart.
And how much are you charging for the app?
So I started with $3, and then I raised the price as I added more and more features. Because currently it has also a new feature that is really fun. Basically, if you try to close the lid, it makes like a cracking noise. You know, like a really old door, like. Kind of.
And how many have you sold? How many have you sold?
Yeah, I sold over. I think right now is over 3,000 copies.
That's awesome.
Licenses. Yes.
That is amazing.
And the price, the current price is at $7.
$7, okay.
That's really something. But wait, how ingenious?
Yeah.
To come up with
one video, he turned into a business.
I mean, 48 hours later, everybody around the world, their Macs are farting and moaning and.
There's only one thing I have to say to this.
What? Thank you for joining us. All the
you
way
can use
from
that one if you want. I will license that fart noise out to you.
No, it's on my show.
Oh, darn it.
Sorry. Hey, listen, we're going to talk about AI and stocks here on the show. Coming right up. Hey, for small businesses, every hire matters, but finding the right person takes time and energy. That's why I use LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Right now, post your first job and get $100 off by going to linkedin.com/Kim. That's linkedin.com/Kim. Terms and conditions apply. All right, so you might be wondering, can AI predict the stock market better than my financial advisor? As it turns out, some information that I read this past week is that AI beat 93% of all human fund managers.
Oh, only 93%.
So some prompts you want to try: act as my financial advisor and then recommend a portfolio. Pretend you're a stock analyst and compare my investment portfolio against earning reports. You can also say, I'm this type of investor with this type of money, suggest 5 stocks. And then the AI will come back and give you some ideas. But just keep in mind that AI does hallucinate.
Yeah.
And if it tells you to buy GoPro stock, you know that it's wrong. I've started investing in stocks.
Have you now?
Yes. Beef, chicken, vegetable. And one day I hope to be a billionaire. Hey, make sure that you sign up for our newsletter at getkim.com. So we all know about FOMO, right?
Yes, fear of missing out.
Yes, and that's what has just built all of social media. Okay, now we have FOBO.
Fear of being out. Fear of busting out. Hold on, I can get this. Fear of belching out. No, I don't know what it is.
Fear of Barry's opinions.
Oh, that's fear to have.
Fear of becoming obsolete.
Ooh.
So if you see FOBO around, now you know he's like, oh, it's the fear of being obsolete.
Do I have to do that thing with my hair when I say that to other people? Oh, I don't. I know what that means. It's a fear of being obsolete.
Oh, gosh. It's the skills that you have spent years building that could be made redundant by a machine that never sleeps, never asks for a raise, and got 15% smarter before breakfast. It's just the way that it is.
We're all headed there, aren't we?
Now, do you still call AI a toaster?
Yeah, still.
Even though it keeps getting smarter and smarter and smarter, and your toaster does not.
We told it to get smarter. That's the only reason. It acts like a human. It thinks like a human because we told it to.
Do you know how you know if a toaster has a computer chip?
No.
If it has a bagel setting.
A bagel setting needs a chip?
Yeah.
All right.
That's a little
that
fun
kind
fact.
of technology they can't do.
I know. Just see, these are things that are in my head. And you're like, where did that come from? I have no idea.
You just read it sometime long ago.
I don't know where it is.
And you just put it in there.
Because now I look at my toaster, I'm like, you have a chip inside. Because after all, this is the Kim Komando Show. It's the nation's largest, biggest, best award-winning show about all things digital. I'm Kim Komando, your beloved digital goddess. And joining me is Andrew Babinski, and he's our co-host here. And you can find us on 430-odd stations across the United States. And then in addition to that, we're streaming your favorite radio app. And don't forget about YouTube.
No, youtube.com/Kim Komando. The show goes up there. The podcasts go up there. Anytime we put something new on YouTube, you want to know about it, just subscribe.
Yes, you're going to love it. You're going to absolutely love it.
Please.
And because we want to get that next award, too.
Right.
I mean, we just got the Dinky Award.
The Dinky Award?
Yes.
Congratulations.
I mean, we want the award.
That sounds like a porn award.
You know, your brain always goes there. You are such a guy.
Fair enough.
I mean,
I'll take that criticism.
Let's thank LinkedIn for helping to make this show possible. For small businesses, every hire matters, but finding the right person can take time and energy you just don't have. That's where LinkedIn Hiring Pro comes in. It's like having a smart hiring partner that will help you focus on the candidates who are a great fit. So this way, you can hire with confidence. I know firsthand how time-consuming hiring can be. You're running a business, you're wearing a dozen hats, then you're sorting through countless applications trying to spot that right person. And posting a job is super easy. It's the finding, it's the connecting, the screening of applicants that you just don't have time for. LinkedIn Hiring Pro handles it all for you. They write the job description, find the top candidates, and also conduct AI-powered first interviews. So forget digging through countless resumes. You can hire right the first time. Post your first job and get $100 off your job post at linkedin.com/Kim. That's linkedin.com/Kim. Terms and conditions apply. Alrighty, then here are some things that are happening in the tech space that you need to know about. And we're going to start with a name, Satoshi Nakamoto. Does that sound familiar to you?
I think that's the villain from the Die Hard movie.
No.
Okay.
For over 15 years, this is all we knew about the person who was behind Bitcoin was this guy's name. But the New York Times says, that's not him. They put a reporter on it, a journalist by the name of John Carreyrou. He's the writer who exposed the whole Theranos fraud. You know, the whole blood test, put Elizabeth Holmes in prison.
Right.
And now he says that Satoshi Nakamoto is actually Adam Back, a 55-year-old British cryptographer who's been huge in the Bitcoin world.
Is he like a trillionaire?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
So he started hunting for Nakamoto. And then after watching, there's an HBO documentary about Bitcoin. I have not watched it. Have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
No. And there's a moment where the interviewer asks Adam Back directly, "Are you Satoshi?" And Back makes this weird face. So Carreyrou and the New York Times, they get a hunch and they start to dig. So they start finding Beck's work in a original white paper about Bitcoin in the late 90s. Beck also posted online about electronic cash systems that sounded a lot like Bitcoin. Then they started using AI. New York Times did. This is really funny. Not haha funny, funny strange. They compared years of Beck's old posts to Nakamoto's writings, trying to spot patterns. What they did is they found the wording, some spelling weirdness, some certain phrases matched better than anyone else. 521 shared words. So out of all the suspects of the person who came up with Bitcoin in the beginning, only one person matched, Adam Back. And if it's true, Adam Back is sitting on about $70 billion.
That's all? The guy who created Bitcoin, that's all he has?
I will take the 70 billion.
I'm not saying it's nuts, chump change, but I thought it would be a lot more.
Well, he probably didn't reserve a whole bunch for himself. He didn't think it'd probably take off like this.
That's true. He probably only gave himself like, I don't know, 5 million.
Now it's
or whatever.
all worth that.
Yeah. Have you heard the Bitcoin theory that was going around social media? The Bitcoin is going to drop to zero?
No. What is that?
It's about the fact that you need energy to keep the blockchain going. And once energy becomes too expensive for us to use it on things like digital currency, the value of all digital currency will go to zero.
Well, they're just going to build a data center up in space or
I
under the
just
ocean.
asked you if you heard the theory.
I didn't. And I'm just telling you that it's a dumb theory.
At some point, we're going to run out of energy.
We are not going to run out of energy.
That's why we're going to Mars or in other solar systems. The sun's going to burn out. Can't take your Bitcoin with you then, Kim Komando.
I don't have hardly any Bitcoin.
Which is surprising to me.
Yeah, I have Ethereum.
Okay.
And that's actually going up. But
right,
I bought
but it's
I've
not
been,
Bitcoin.
No, I've been holding Ethereum for, I don't know, 10 years, it seems like.
Wow, that's a long. Okay, so you just got on the wrong one. That's fine. I'm glad you admitted it.
You know, and GoPro just laid off 6,000 people.
They had 6,000 employees.
I know. I didn't even know. If you're new to the game, you don't come to me for stock advice, okay? Because I've been holding on to GoPro thinking they're going to be making it. They're going to be making it. They're going to be making it. And this past week, I saw a headline. I didn't read the story because I was like, oh, figures. And that there goes my GoPro stock. I mean, they just laid off 6,000. Who knew they even had 6,000?
Did the story say that GoPro lays off 6,000 people? The only one left is Ted.
From MySpace.
They had 6,000 employees to lay off?
Well, you know, I had a reason to speak. I'm not going to go through it, but I had a reason to speak to the folks at GoPro in the fall.
Okay.
6, 7, 8 months ago. And, you know, they don't have a chief. They didn't have, or they might have one now, but they didn't have a chief marketing officer.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, no wonder why your products suck. I mean, you don't have a chief marketing officer.
You were going to go speak to the GoPro people and tell them to their face that their products suck?
It was a long story.
All right.
This is interesting. So Amazon has the Alexa Plus. Okay. It comes free with Prime if you're a Prime member. Otherwise, I think it's like $7 a month. This is, you know, I'm going to try to do this. You can now order from Uber Eats and Grubhub. So instead of saying, you know, going up and say, you know, Takaya Mexican or whatever it is.
Right.
You can say, I want something spicy, but not too heavy, and skip the onions. And I'm thinking maybe Mexican, or it could be Chinese, or it could be Japanese. And then Alexa will figure out which restaurant that you should go to.
I don't have, and I think it's cool, but I don't have the patience to sit there and listen to Alexa read the entire menu to me. I saw this story and I was like, that's a cool feature I will never use. I need to have it in front of me, holding it, scrolling myself. Imagine if you said, oh, well, I want an appetizer. And Alexa's like, we have nachos. It comes with, I could not do that. I don't have that patience.
Maybe it'd be better if it said, if you could really like just zero in on what you were looking for.
Right, if it was an instant order. Blank Alexa, Starbucks, here's my drink, have it delivered through Uber Eats. Sure, that's an easy one.
Yeah, I could see that. But because just now when you were talking about that, because whenever I order Uber Eats, which is, you know, a lot.
Yeah.
Is that rather than me sitting there with my phone telling Barry like, oh, you could have this, and this, and this.
Right.
Is that I give him my phone.
Correct.
Okay. And then he has to read every. I'm like,
and imagine if you had to read that whole menu to him.
Maybe breakfast the next day. Now, on the surface, this doesn't sound too bad. Okay. The New York Times reports AI overviews. That's when you search for Google search and it gives you the AI overviews. Mm-hmm. Gets 9 out of 10 questions right.
That's really good, actually.
Okay.
I'm actually impressed with that number.
But Google handles 14 billion searches a day. So
Right.
it's getting a lot wrong.
The key is don't be the 10th. Just make sure you're 1 through 9. And you're going to be fine.
That 10th one, you're just like, you're just out of luck, buddy.
I had no idea orangutan was a city in New Jersey. That's interesting, Google.
Do you know if you go to Google and you type in animal sounds? I was showing this to my nephew. You type in animal sounds, it gives you all the sounds of all these different animals.
That's cool.
Yeah, and you just hit different buttons and you get different. There is one sound, because I was like, do you know what a scorpion sounds like?
I would guess like a hiss.
Kind of, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what a fox says?
No.
What does the fox say?
We'll edit that out.
Don't edit it out. That was a good song reference.
All right, so this happened at a Zoo America inside Hershey Park. Do you know where Hershey Park is?
Pennsylvania?
Yes. I asked Barry where that was. I said, you know? And he's like, oh my God, where's Hershey Park? I'm like, Pennsylvania. He's like, oh, I knew you should have known that.
Yeah, it's near Hershey,
Okay,
Pennsylvania.
yes. So two parents, mom and dad, are sitting there on a bench at Zoo America at Hershey Park.
Okay.
Both of them are on their phones.
Sure.
And their 17-month-old little toddler crawls under the bench and goes into the area where the wolves are.
That's a bad area.
Okay. He slipped under the fence, reached through the wolf habitat barrier, and a wolf grabbed his hand. Luckily, there were some strangers and bystanders there, and they pulled him out.
Well, their parents were right there.
Parents were sitting 25 feet away.
Oof.
Heads in their phones. They're both charged. This is what's interesting to me. When I first saw the story, I thought, Gen Zs.
Uh-huh.
Sitting there on TikTok, Instagram. That's exactly, or they're taking videos, they're sharing videos with each other, and this kid's like wandering around going into the wolf barrier, habitat, whatever it's called. Mom is 43. Dad is 61.
61? Good for him.
Okay. With a 17-month-old. And they're the ones that had their faces in the phone. And the
It's
kids.
everybody.
Not if you have a little kid.
You would think.
Just saying.
It's everybody. My ex-wife sent me a message like 4 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
She's like doing some research when it comes to the psychology of short form videos. I don't want the kids to have any interaction with short form videos at all. And of course, I'm like, obviously, how many parents do you think you've ever had that conversation? They
No.
don't, because they're sitting there scrolling TikTok themselves.
Well, I read that if you can undo that damage if you do it less than 20 minutes a day.
Okay.
So you're not sitting there for hours, and that's what people do. They sit there for hours.
Right.
Hours and hours and hours. You know, I once taught a wolf to meditate.
That's really, first of all, crazy coincidence that it ties into the story we're doing right now. And it's impressive that you're speaking to another species.
Now he's a werewolf.
Instead of a lone wolf? Oh, instead of a werewolf.
See?
A werewolf.
You're laughing.
Go to Brad.
Do a commercial.
Please.
Don't say anything else. Don't talk about anything else. You're being watched, seriously. Every time you go online, your internet provider is tracking your every move. Here in the U.S., they actually sell your browsing history. And until that changes, you need to protect yourself. And that's why I use ExpressVPN. It's an easy-to-use app that encrypts your connection and reroutes all your internet traffic through secure servers, so your online activity stays private. With ExpressVPN, your internet provider can't see your browsing history. It hides your IP address, and that's the number that identifies you online, so you can't be tracked. And with servers in over 100 countries, you can appear virtually anywhere. It's easy to use. Literally just click one button and you're protected. Plus, ExpressVPN has apps for everything. I'm talking about your phones, your laptops, your desktop, your smart TVs, your tablets, so you can stay private anywhere you connect. So take your online privacy seriously like I do and get up to 4 extra months by going to expressvpn.com/Kim. That's expressvpn.com/Kim. All righty then. Still to come, we're going to be talking about how you can have AI help you with your construction projects. New feature that's coming to YouTube. And of course, we have more of your great phone calls here on the Kim Komando Show. I'd like to have a virtual meet and greet with you. I really would. Just one-on-one, you and I can talk. You can invite your whole family. I mean, but you have to be able to give me at least 100 referrals in our referral program. And that's how this works, is that if you get the current newsletter, it's free. Almost 1 million folks get it every single morning, and they love it. Our open rate is close to 50%, which is just crazy good. And thank you for everybody that gets the newsletter and opens it every day. And so on the bottom of your newsletter, you have a unique referral link. And if you share that link with other people, you win valuable prizes. Like you can get a free AI prompt guide, a tumbler, you can get a mug, you can get a hoodie, and you get that virtual meet and greet with me. So again, if you get the current newsletter, make sure that you scroll to the bottom and start sharing that referral link.
So we talked about it in the other segment where my ex-wife sent me this story that she had found when it comes to short form videos. And it talked about that a younger generation, I think the age range is like 6 to 14, if I'm right. When it comes to short form videos and the doom scrolling that we all know and talk about, that they are seeing and observing that it is changing neurologically how children are thinking.
In what way?
When it comes to response time, when it comes to attitude, when it comes to communication outside of the device. And everything that was mentioned, the downsides, the negatives that came, I don't see in any of my children. Also, I will admit that my kids do watch YouTube shorts because they have a bunch of gaming stuff that they watch on there, couple of streamers. And she's like, I want to end this. Google has finally put in there where you can disable shorts when it comes to your accounts on Google.
Oh, that's fabulous.
It had never been an option before on YouTube. Obviously, it's a product and a brand that YouTube wants to build, and they finally put it in there for parents on a kid's account to disable shorts so they can't access it.
Which, the guy who's running YouTube, he actually said his kids don't watch shorts.
Correct, because he knows.
Yeah, he knows. So he's like, I better put something in there.
So we went, even though the kids really don't interact a lot with shorts, and they do not have TikTok, they do not have Reels.
That's good.
We went and turned it off anyway, so that they just don't have any access to it.
So smart. It is. You have to do that.
Why not? What does it hurt?
They don't need it. There's enough stimulation in the world.
Right, exactly.
Hey, I switched to consumer cellular. You get the same coverage as the big carriers and real people to help you. No extra fees. Millions have made the switch. And right now, get your second month free by going to consumercellular.com/Kim. That's consumercellular.com/Kim. Hey, AI is here helping companies get ahead. NetSuite by Oracle connects your data for real insights and smarter decisions. If your revenues are 7 figures, get the free business guide, Demystifying AI, at netsuite.com/Kim. That's netsuite.com/Kim. Do you know what a botnet is?
No.
You don't? We're going to be talking about those. It's like an army of hijacked gadgets that all work towards one particular goal in mind. And it's because you have every router, webcam, streaming box. Criminals don't necessarily want to steal your data anymore. They want to weaponize your devices to turn it into these botnets. Fascinating idea of what's going on and how to protect yourself. And joining us right now is Alan Liska. He's an intelligence analyst at Recorded Future. It's the world's largest threat intelligence company. They're tracking all the bad guys and gals so we don't have to. So how big are these botnets, Alan?
The botnets can be composed of millions of devices. They're because everybody has a home router, right? And so right there, just as a baseline, you're talking about billions of devices out there, and so many of these devices are vulnerable. It's relatively easy to build a very large botnet, and they're powerful.
Give us an example of what they've accomplished thus far.
So we saw last year that there was one of the largest DDoS attacks ever that in terms of traffic size was terabits of traffic that Cloudflare blocked. And that all comes from these botnets. When you have a hive mind of you send a single command from wherever your command and control location is and activate all of these bots to force traffic into one spot, you can generate just unseemly amounts of traffic.
And so Cloudflare, refresh everybody's memory. That was awful. It took down just airlines and airports and all other kinds of companies, right?
Right, exactly. So Cloudflare, for people that don't know, is a DDoS protection service, among other things. It does a lot of different things, but one of the things it does is it tries to stop that traffic. But even something like Cloudflare can be overwhelmed by the size of the traffic, and so many organizations rely on Cloudflare for that level of security that if they get overwhelmed, then those organizations behind them can be overwhelmed as well.
If one of my devices was part of this botnet, is it going to act normally while it's waiting for that command? Am I even going to know that it's part of it?
No, you will have no idea, because most people, when they get their router, it's in their mind, it's set it and forget it. How often do people update their home routers? Not very often. Or if you're like a lot of people in the United States, you may get your home router from your ISP. And so you think that your internet provider is the one that's managing and updating it, but they don't. They're just giving you a device, and they assume that you're going to update it. So it's one of these things, we now have, your Windows machine or your Mac at home or your iPhone or Android. A lot of those have auto updates on it. Most routers don't have that facility. So when a new version comes out or when a vulnerability is discovered, you have no way of knowing that.
Yes, it's not like they're going to call you up and say, oh, by the way, just wanted to let you know.
But just so you know, Alan, I changed my router password from password 1234 to 1234 password. So I'm good.
That's good.
You're set. That's perfect.
Because you can go on the internet and go to routerpasswords.com and it gives you every password out there. It's just nuts. It really is. But that's an interesting question, though, because, how would you know? Because I guess maybe your traffic might seem a little slower, do you think?
It might, but only when it's engaged in DDoS activities. Otherwise, the command and control itself, like the check-in to the bad guy's server, is just a couple of bytes of traffic. So it would blend in. You wouldn't notice it. Your ISP certainly wouldn't notice it. It's not until it's being activated for one of these attacks. And even then, let's say they've done it during the day while you're at work. You definitely wouldn't notice a change at that point.
Now, is AI making this worse?
So it's interesting because AI hasn't done anything to accelerate the process. All it's done, like it has for a lot of people in their day-to-day job, is it becomes a force multiplier. So it allows you to gain access to a lot of systems faster, and it allows maybe less experienced hackers to start building one of these botnets in a faster way, because you can use AI to automate a lot of that. But all of these botnet services have relied on automation forever. They've been way ahead of the game in terms of automation, because the only way it works is if you can auto-scan, auto-deploy, and then auto-control.
And so last month, the U.S. Justice Department, they took down, 4 botnets. What were those botnets doing?
So there were two different things. Largely, they were used for DDoS attacks, and these could be taking out major companies, organizations, or government agencies, but also they can be used for gamers. So there's a thing in gaming called booting, where if you're mad at somebody who's playing the same game you are, you can, for $20, hire one of these botnets to kick them off of the game temporarily, so that they can't keep sniping you or whatever. But the other thing that they're used for is they're used as redirects. So let's say that I'm a hacker in Russia and I want to break into a bank or something. Well, if I come from Russia, the bank is going to block me. However, if I come from downtown Chicago, then I'm more likely to be able to get access in because I'm coming from a location that looks like I should be trying to log into that bank. And so they're also, in addition to being used for DDoS services, they're used as redirects for hackers.
It's so fascinating. Now with the war happening in Iran, are these botnets gearing up for anything? Do you see any of that activity?
Yeah, so there are Iranian groups that are cyber criminal groups, but that are aligned with the Iranian government that take advantage of these kind of attacks as well. We've already seen that with DDoS attacks being launched against U.S. and Israeli either perceived targets or aligned targets to try and take down those. So we've seen claims. I think just today, Chime was one of them that an Iranian group claimed that they were able to take down with a DDoS attack.
So bottom line, update all your passwords.
Please.
Okay? Update your systems rather. And
right.
And no, let me in as your password.
Yes. And the other thing is, so one of the things that's a feature of these botnets is that the malware on your router is all memory resident. So even if you can't remember your login and you can't remember how to update your router, if you just reboot it once a week, that also gets rid of the botnets. Now, they may come right back, but it does temporarily get rid of it.
Yeah. So, and while you're at it, do your modem at the same time.
Exactly.
So, you know what, Alan? Thank you so much for chiming in on all this. No pun intended with the chiming there. Thanks for coming on board and talking more about it. It's fascinating to me how the technology works.
Didn't even think, that's happening in the background. And these huge attacks are happening because most of them go unreported or just one report.
Yeah,
and
or
then they move on.
Happens. Yes. Well, there's some things that just keep coming back and back and back with some various hacking groups. But as far as the botnets, you're talking like hundreds of thousands of devices, millions of devices that are all coordinating towards one particular thing. But that's interesting I've always wondered about how they were booting those people out. Did you? I've never.
No, I had no idea.
I had no idea either. Hey, listen, I've tried a lot of antivirus software over the years, and when something better comes along, I just switch. That's why I've moved to WebRoot Essentials. WebRoot Essentials is a cloud-based, AI-powered antivirus platform that was designed to evolve with today's threats. It's fast, lightweight protection that works across all my devices without slowing me down. If you need another reason to switch, listen up. WebRoot Essentials recently ranked #1 in the independent Passmark performance study against 9 other brands that like Norton, McAfee, even Microsoft Defender. The study found that WebRoot Essentials scans 6 times faster, uses far less memory, and takes up to 33% less space on your computer. I've seen the difference that WebRoot Essentials has made for my devices, and you will too. My listeners, you get 62% off WebRoot Essentials by going to webroot.com/Kim. It's the #1 ranked antivirus protection, just $19 a year at webroot.com/Kim. That's webroot.com/Kim. All right, so right now, I'm installing a brand new AC system and also an ADU. Do you know what ADU is?
Mm-mm.
It's an accessory dwelling unit.
Ooh, interesting.
Yes. It's like a guest house.
Okay.
It's a fancy term for a guest house. Lots of contractors, lots of line items. And so what I've been doing is before the bid arrives is that I tell Claude, or you can use whatever one you want, Grok, ChatGPT, Gemini, you are a licensed contractor and home renovation expert. I'm getting bids on installing AC in a 5,000 square foot house, and I want to build an 800 square foot ADU. What should a legitimate bid? And then give me some red flags. And so I've got the prompt over on the site, so you can do that. And then after the bid arrives is that you ask it to that. Now you say you are a licensed contractor reviewing all this. Oh my gosh, you should see what it comes back with. It just goes through everything. And the contract tells you what's missing, how they're going to try to screw you on overages and change orders and all this other stuff. It's really, really fascinating. Finally, the one thing that you also want to ask your chat bot is to say, what are some red flags that the inspectors in this zip code looking at this project would be red flagging? And then it comes back with a whole nother list.
Did you have a result yet where you got the bid, you ran it through the AI? Yes. How much did you get off?
Well, let me give you numbers. There was one bid that came in at about $83,000.
For both projects combined?
No, just one project.
Okay.
One part of a project.
Okay.
Okay. The same part of this project. First guy came in at $88,000, and I'm sorry if you're listening. And Chad basically said he's kind of holding himself for stuff that you're not. You're probably going to look up paying him $110,000.
Oh wow!
Because of the way that he has it all written up. And he said, but if you want first class, don't touch anything. He's going to handle everything. Everything will be done. Then, and you don't ever have to worry about it, something going wrong. He's the guy to go to.
You get what you pay for.
Okay. Second guy comes in at like $54,000.
Okay.
And chat says, doesn't have everything covered, like the first guy. He is more experienced at this, from what I can tell, the way that the bid's written, but he's bidding the wrong job.
Oops. Why is there 6 toilets installed in my backyard?
Okay. So then I go to him and I said, you're bidding the wrong job. And I basically said, here's what chat says. I showed him both. Okay. I'm not going to lie. And he's like, oh yeah, because we moved the ADU from one side of the property to the other side. Then he's like, oh, it's going to be $37,500.
So almost the same as the other bid.
No, $37,000.
Oh, he went down even more.
Yes. And then chat told me how to figure out his contract and do this. And so I'm going with the lower priced guy because there's so much.
$50,000 because you used ChatGPT to compare all these bids.
You because my inclination would have been to go with the first guy.
Right.
Because I've been like, oh, you know.
Because he's a good salesman, and we trust good salesmen.
Not me. I go with chat all the time now. You're my friend.
Saving some money.
Hey, if you need those prompts, just hit the website at Komando.com. We have more of the show coming up. Hey, if you want to glow from the inside out, get your natural radiance back with Native Path Collagen. Some studies suggest collagen supplements may support bone health, tissue recovery, and overall skin and hair wellness. Right now, you can try Native Path Collagen for just a fraction of the retail price at getnativepath.com/Kim. That's getnativepath.com/Kim.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Individual results may vary.
So Roxanne in Phoenix, glad to have you with us. How many times do you hear, Roxanne?
Oh, Kim, I can't tell you. I can't even begin to tell you, but I'd be rich if I had $1 for every time.
I like that. It's like people come to me and they say, oh, I bet you go Komando.
Yeah, same thing.
You know? And it's like I look at them like, and you know what really blows them away is when I look at them and go, as a matter of fact, I do. And then they're like, what?
Prove it.
So what's going on?
Well, I wanted to share with you, I recently returned from a trip to Europe, which I didn't change my phone at all. I just used Wi-Fi. So I got to Phoenix, and I'm standing at the curb for my Lyft or Uber, whoever I was going to call. I'm on my phone, pulling up my app, trying to find a ride, looking at, the prices for the various rides, which I don't use Uber much at all. I don't need to in my lifespan of, being retired anymore. But I went ahead and I'm looking, and this man pulls up, and he comes up to me with this phone, and he goes, my ride just canceled. Do you need a ride? And I looked at him. I said, let me see your ID, just to make sure he was an Uber driver. And he showed me his ID. He says, here, look how many rides I've done. He shows me his phone right next to mine and to me. And I'm kind of like, well, okay. And he quotes me a price. And I can't remember if he said 49 or 59, and I'm like, that's a little high from what I've been looking at, coming to the airport and going home midday. So he grabs my suitcase, throws it in the trunk, and I'm getting in the car, and at the same time, my ride thing is popping up, and it says like 35 something. So I'm in the car, and I go, this says 35. He goes, no, it's 49. And he's driving away. So I live north central Phoenix, so you would take the 51 home. And that's a short loop to get back around towards 51 from Terminal 4. So I'm looking at my phone like, no, I'm arguing with him. And he's like, no. And we had made it around to where the cell phone waiting lot was. And he says, look, if you don't want this bride and you don't want this price, I'll just drop you off here. He pulled into the cell phone waiting lot, parked the car, pulled out my luggage, and said, see you later. I'm like, what just happened here? It was, a couple weeks ago, and it was like 91 and
it's hot out.
Noon. It was hot, and I'm sitting there, I'm standing with the big suitcase in the middle of the cell phone waiting lot. So I'm hurry up, I get my Uber app back up, and it would allow me to choose this cell phone lot for a pickup, but when I wanted to order it, it went to Terminal 3. So I'm like, what am I going to do now? I don't have anybody to call. So I know that there are airport police, not just Phoenix PD. So I called them and told them what happened, and their building is right across the street from the cell phone lot. That big building that sits there is their building. So I told him what happened, and he goes, are you the blonde standing there? I'm like, yeah, that's me. So he goes, we're going to send somebody over. His name is such and such. Yeah. And so I'm waiting, and the guy shows up in like a work truck. It wasn't a police car, but I knew he was coming. So he gets me in this vehicle, and he's going to take me over to Terminal 3 where I can call an Uber. In the meantime, he said, yeah, there are guys out there. They're called scoopers. They know about them. They know a lot of their license plates. They try and watch for them. And what they do is exactly what this man did to me, scoop up a ride. I didn't know much more about it because, it was just a little short ride over to Terminal 3, and I thanked him, and I got out, and I pulled up an Uber ride, which I try now to use women Uber drivers.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, and the lady came and got me home. So the story's not over. Venmo sends me a thing, here's your summary of this month's account. Great, I'm looking over it, and there's a charge for $28 for an Uber ride that I didn't get. So technologically, I do not know how that man got my ride into his phone without me ordering him and got a charge to me from my Venmo account.
When he was looking at your phone and showing you the number, he was showing you the number of rides, he was looking at your phone.
Yeah, probably.
And that's where he was able to get your name or a phone number, and then with a name or a phone number, you can just pull up anybody's Venmo.
Wow.
Unless you lock down your Venmo, which you should do, everybody should do, is that you can make your Venmo account only available, you make it private. Because otherwise, Venmo, anybody can see anybody's Venmo. And so that's probably how that charge got on. But, I don't want you to be too hard on yourself. Because just because I just want to say this, because you just came on a long flight, a 10-hour flight, right? 11, 12-hour flight. You were tired, time difference. So you may have not, but may not have been as sharp as you normally are.
And these are con artists. I mean, they're going to do everything in their power to scam you to get you to get in their car.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know, and I mean, I got my money back, which was fine. It just is annoying that there are people out there that do that. And I read the Current, and I read your AI Splash, and for me, as a retired nurse, it's, a lot of information. I'm not in that arena any longer, but I want to stay on top of things. And it was just shocking that, hey, it finally happened to you. They caught up with you.
And you were there. You were standing in the cell phone parking lot with a big suitcase from Europe. Oh gosh, feels so bad. Well, Roxanne, thank you for telling us your story.
Absolutely.
Because I'm sure you've helped a lot of folks who, if it happens to them, they're going to say, you know what, I'm not going to fall for that.
No, always look through the app.
Hey, listen, we have more of the show coming up. Hey, Mother's Day is around the corner, and here's a gift she's just going to love. Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic. They deliver amazing sound without the big brand price. Get 15% off at buyraycon.com/Kim. That's buyraycon.com/Kim. All right, so YouTube has a new feature. It's called Ask AI. So while a movie or video is playing, you can ask questions and get answers around the screen. Like, so wait, who is that actor?
Oh, gosh.
What?
Don't tell anyone in my household that that's available.
Why? I think that's so cool.
It's going to be nonstop talking while I'm trying to watch a show. Where's the Knickerbocker anyway?
Where was this filmed?
Oh, goodness.
It's called Ask AI. If you haven't already, make sure that you sign up for our free newsletter over at getkim.com. Hey, Mother's Day is around the corner, and here's a gift she's just going to love. Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic. They deliver amazing sound without the big brand price. Get 15% off at buyraycon.com/Kim. That's buyraycon.com/Kim. All right, so YouTube has a new feature. It's called Ask AI. So while a movie or video is playing, you can ask questions and get answers around the screen. Like, so wait, who is that actor?
Oh, gosh.
What?
Don't tell anyone in my household that that's available.
Why? I think that's so cool.
It's going to be nonstop talking while I'm trying to watch a show. Where's the Knickerbocker anyway?
Where was this filmed?
Oh, goodness.
It's called Ask AI. If you haven't already, make sure that you sign up for our free newsletter over at getkim.com. Ask AI. Oh, all right. We need some poses. I feel like everyone is like me doing this.
Yeah. So do that. Oh, it was one-handed. Look at the adjustment she made.
How about no. How about, oh, no. I guess that's the big pose. What else am I supposed to do?
Cross your arms. Wait. Yeah, there you go. That's different. Now pick your nose. I almost did it.
I did not.
You take direction well.
Not. That's good. That's all we got. We gotta go. We got things we gotta do. People we gotta see. Places we gotta go. Carrie's gonna make that set a little bit bigger.
Not enough room?
I think it's just. Oops. I think it looks too short, too small.
How's it look on camera?
I'm not sure yet.
You know, you could take down that wall and just move those chairs in the space we were before, because all you did was build the same thing we already had.
Well, it's supposed to look a little bit more intimate.
Oh.
But we could have. You're right. Maybe we should. Maybe we should just build bookcases on that.
Just fill that area in.
Let me talk to Carrie.
All right, I'm out of here.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.
Huh? Okay.
I don't know if I'm being recorded. I'm just gonna do this.